Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we get into the important details on fascinating topics. Today, we're looking at something many of us will kind of ignore until it complains the knee. It's just such a critical spot, isn't it? It links your torso and foot, has to handle all those loads, but it also needs to be mobile and stable.
Exactly. And that dual demand, needing freedom and support, is really what makes it so vulnerable.
All right.
And that's really why we're diving deep today. We're exploring an integrated way to look at knee health, movement quality. It combines Stott Pilates, its precision with the really rigorous muscle analysis from Kendall's theory.
Kendall's theory, right.
Yeah. And this isn't just about fixing a sore knee locally. It's like a whole body reorganization of how you move.
So more holistic.
Totally. Think of it like tuning up your whole system, not just tweaking one part. It's a powerful approach for prevention, rehab, and just, improving how you function every day. Moving better, feeling more confident.
That sounds fantastic. So our mission here is to unpack how this combination helps us understand what our knees are telling us,
Those subtle messages.
Yeah, identify those imbalances maybe before they become big problems and actually make lasting changes. Consider this your shortcut to really getting informed on biomechanics and mindful movement meeting.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Why is the knee such a big deal? What makes it so, exposed? Why can't we just isolate it?
Well, the interesting thing is, while it acts mostly like a hinge, right, flexing and extending, it's much more complex. It's a biomechanical crossroads. So any repeated misalignment, like if your knee falls inward, we call that dynamic valgus.
Okay, valgus.
Or if it bows outward, that's varus. Or even if your shin bone rotates too much. These aren't just things we see. They're like body messages. Signals. Telling us there's an underlying muscle weakness or maybe a problem with proprioception, how your body senses itself in space.
So it's like a dashboard warning light, but the issue might be the engine, not the light itself.
Exactly like that. Spot on.
Yeah.
Our job is to see those patterns and correct them, but not just at the knee. We have to look along the whole kinetic chain.
The whole chain.
Foot, ankle, knee, hip, pelvis, all the way up to your core. I had this client, a runner, convinced it was just running impact. But when we looked closer, that dynamic valgus, it was actually driven by weak hip abductors and, a lack of core stability. His knee was basically screaming for help because other parts weren't pulling their weight.
Wow, that makes so much sense. And it really brings home that idea from Stott Pilates about the center, right? The deep abs, pelvic floor, oblique.
Sagittal corset,
acting like this internal support system. And without that central stability, I guess the knee just has to compensate, pick up the slack.
Precisely. It's forced to compensate for instability higher up or lower down. And that leads to these little micro traumas, tension building up over time. It's often missed if you only think about isolated muscle strength.
So what's the biggest misconception this approach tackles?
I think the biggest one is that knee pain automatically means you just need to strengthen the muscles right around the knee.
Yeah.
Or just rest it.
Right. The classic advice.
Yeah. And while those things can help sometimes, this integrated view shows that real lasting knee health often starts by fixing imbalances maybe in your hip or your foot or your core. A strong core isn't just about aesthetics. It literally frees up your knee.
Frees it up.
Yeah. Takes the pressure off, lets it move the way it's designed to without carrying extra load it shouldn't. It untethers the knee, you could say.
Untethers the knee. I like that. So we know it's all connected. How does Stott Pilates specifically guide us then to optimize the knee within this bigger picture?
Okay, so Stott Pilates gives us 6 fundamental principles. They're like the foundation. First is respiration. It's not just breathing. It's using your breath to stabilize your trunk and set a rhythm for movement.
Okay, breath as stability.
Exactly. Second, centering. Activating that deep abdominal belt we talked about. This really helps liberate the femorotibial axis, the main alignment between your thigh and shin at the knee. Lets it move correctly.
So engaging the core frees the knee.
Third is neutral alignment, making sure your pelvis, spine, rib cage are organized properly over your feet. A stable base.
Because if your pelvis is tilted weirdly,
your knee is already starting at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Exactly. Fourth is precision. This is where we get specific about form, like consciously keeping your knee pointing toward your second toe during squats or lunges. No collapsing inward.
That detail.
Crucial detail. Fifth, control. Slow, measured movements. No cheating or compensating with other muscles. Every move is deliberate.
Quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And finally, flow. Creating smooth, harmonious sequences. This helps make the corrections stick, reorganizing your movement patterns long term.
And you mentioned these aren't just ideas, they become really tangible with the equipment.
Oh, definitely. The equipment really brings these principles to life.
Okay, let's get into that equipment, because that's where it seems to get really interesting. How do these machines, the Reformer, the Cadillac, how do they actually enhance these principles and give specific benefits for the knee?
Right. Each piece has its own kind of magic for this. Let's start with the Reformer. The springs give you resistance, but the guided rails offer really fine control.
Okay.
This makes it perfect for spotting and correcting those frontal plane issues, like the valgus, knee collapsing in, or varus, knee bowing out, and also tibial rotations, how your shin moves.
Which you said is influenced by the foot?
Heavily influenced, yeah. Exercises like a leg press, or especially doing it one leg at a time, unilateral work, they're amazing diagnostic tools right there on the machine. The springs give you instant feedback if something's off.
Can you give an example?
Sure. I worked with a cyclist, had nagging knee pain. On the Reformer's leg press, we saw this slight valgus collapse on one side under load. Really subtle.
Something you wouldn't see easily otherwise.
Probably not on the bike, no. But the Reformer's controlled movement let him isolate it, feel it, and consciously correct it. Big difference in his pain levels afterwards.
Wow. Okay, so that's the Reformer. What about the others?
Then you have the Cadillac. It often encourages a more global approach, integrating the trunk, the arms, restoring those full kinetic chains, making sure the knee isn't working solo.
Right, connecting everything.
Exactly. The chair is brilliant for showing up compensations when you're upright, bearing weight. A simple step up or step down, one leg at a time, can instantly reveal an unstable knee that might look fine just walking around. I had this really fit runner, blamed mileage for knee pain, put her on the chair for unilateral step-ups. The wobble, the way her pelvis shifted to compensate it was so clear.
Moment.
Totally. Showed her a fundamental instability that vertical load just exposed instantly. And the barrels, they're great for restoring length to tight tissues like hamstrings or hip flexors and for supporting postural work safely. Again, helping the knee by improving what's around it.
It sounds like these machines aren't just for exercise, they're almost like diagnostic tools themselves, giving sensory feedback.
That's a perfect way to put it. They are powerful sensory feedback tools.
So what kind of feedback is the body actually getting? How does that help you learn?
It's tactile. It's proprioceptive. The tension from the springs, you feel it. The pressure of the straps, the contact on the foot bar. All of this is information.
Okay.
It enhances your proprioception, your brain's map of where your body is and how it's moving. It becomes a kind of dialogue between you and the equipment.
The dialogue.
Yeah, you feel the misalignment, you feel the correction. It makes the learning active, conscious, and much more likely to stick because you felt the difference.
Okay, so we have the Pilates principles, the movement guidance, and this amazing equipment providing feedback. But how do we know exactly what needs correcting? Like which specific muscles are out of whack? That's where Kendall comes in, right? The diagnostic lens.
Absolutely. Spot on. Kendall's method is all about functional muscle testing. And it's key to understand it's not just about raw strength.
Not just how much you can lift.
No, not at all. It assesses how well muscles work together in synergy, like a team. Around the knee, we're looking closely at the quads, especially that inner part, the vastus medialis obliquus, or VMO.
Okay, the VMO.
Crucial for how your kneecap tracks. We test the hamstrings, the counterbalance to the quads, the gluteus medius out of the hip, vital for stability. Hip adductors, abductors.
The inner and outer thigh muscles.
Right. And critically, the muscles of the foot. They had a huge impact on tibial kinematics, how that shin bone moves and rotates.
Wow, the foot connection again.
Always. Kendall's genius was really highlighting the relationship between agonist and antagonist muscles that perform opposite actions.
Like the quad and hamstring.
Exactly. If there's an imbalance there, say your quads are way stronger than your hamstrings or your adductors overpower your abductors, it can directly mess up that femorotibial alignment at the knee, put stress on ligaments.
I see.
So combining Kendall's precise identification of which muscles are weak or too tight with Pilates functional exercises on the equipment, that's the magic.
It makes the Pilates work super targeted.
Incredibly targeted. We're not guessing. We're addressing specific diagnosed imbalances with exercises designed to fix that specific issue.
Yeah.
Much more efficient, much more effective.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. So you've done the diagnosis, you know what's weak or tight. What do the actual correction protocols look like, especially, say, on the Reformer? It sounds like a key tool here.
Yeah, the Reformer is definitely a prime spot for this. We might start with something seemingly simple, like a bilateral leg press, both legs working together.
Okay.
But the focus is intense. aligning the knee precisely over the second toe. It's not about pushing heavy weight. It's about nailing that alignment, engaging mindfully to stabilize the knee's main path of movement.
Precision again.
Always. Then we quickly move to unilateral work, one leg at a time. This is gold because it instantly shows up any differences between your left and right side.
Asymmetries.
Exactly. And it massively boosts proprioception, that body awareness. A one-legged leg press reveals compensation patterns that directly relate to how you walk or climb stairs.
Right. Makes sense.
We also use controlled micro-external rotations, tiny movements, but they help balance the hip rotator muscles and wake up that crucial VMO muscle, ensuring the kneecap tracks smoothly.
Okay.
And a really important piece is emphasizing eccentric control. That's controlling the movement on the return phase, not just letting the springs pull you back.
Resisting the return.
Yes. This trains your muscles to absorb forces effectively, like shock absorbers, prevents joint impact, critical for daily life, even more so for sports.
And you mentioned progression. You don't just jump into the hard stuff.
No, definitely not. It's all about graduated progression. Start with maybe less resistance, smaller range of motion, slower speed. Master the pattern.
Build the foundation.
Exactly. Only then do we gradually increase the challenge. More load, more range, maybe changing the stability or the plane of motion. If you rush, you risk just reinforcing the old bad habits. Patience and precision are key.
And beyond the mechanics, you keep mentioning the sensory aspect, this dialogue with the equipment. How does that play into lasting change?
It's fundamental, really. It's the pedagogical dimension, that pressure under your foot on the bar, the tension in the strap, the feeling of contact. It's all information, vital information.
Your body learning directly.
Yes. It allows you, the individual, to become really aware of the subtleties of your own movement, to feel the difference between aligned and misaligned. The goal isn't just for the instructor to correct you. It's for you to develop that internal awareness.
So you become your own analyst.
In a way, yes. Your body becomes its own instrument of analysis. You learn to feel what's right. That self-awareness is what makes the corrections stick long after you leave the studio. It empowers you.
That's powerful. So bringing it all together, the precise diagnosis, the tailored exercises, the sensory learning, what's the bottom line? What improvements are actually seen? Does it work in the real world?
Oh, absolutely. The clinical results are really encouraging. We consistently see measurable improvements. Things like a significant reduction in dynamic valgus angles, less knee collapse.
Okay, that's measurable.
Definitely. Better firing patterns of the VMO, that key quad muscle, which means better kneecap stability. We see increased stability in challenging movements like single leg step-ups. People feel more balanced, stronger on one leg.
And pain.
And importantly, yes, a significant decrease in anterior knee pain, that common ache at the front of the knee. For many people, that's life-changing.
I bet.
So when you look at the big picture, these results really validate this whole integrated approach. It's the synergy.
The combination.
Yeah, the fine analysis from Kendall, the targeted Pilates exercises, the feedback from the equipment, the conscious repetition.
Yeah.
It all works together. It goes way beyond just patching up a local symptom.
It's a reorganization.
It's a global reorganization of movement. Precise diagnosis, tailored plans, safe progression, and you being actively involved.
Yeah.
It's about reforming how your whole body moves, which leads to sustainable knee health.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you listening? What we've really learned is that your knee, well, it's a messenger. It gives you critical clues about things happening elsewhere. Maybe weakness in your foot, your hip, maybe your core isn't doing its job. It's telling you why it hurts, not just that it hurts.
Exactly. And this combined approach, Stott, Pilates, and Kendall's theory, it gives us this effective, scientific, but also deeply pedagogical way to listen to that message and respond correctly.
Respond, not just react.
Precisely. Helps prevent injuries before they start. It provides amazing support during rehab. And it just profoundly improves how you move every day in sports, whatever you do. The real goal.
Yeah.
It's restoring that freedom. The freedom to move within your own alignment, your own axis, but with safety, with fluidity.
Yes, the freedom to move with safety and fluidity. That's a great goal. So maybe as you go about your day-to-day, just consider, what messages might your body be sending you? Are you really tuning into those biomechanical crossroads? And maybe what's one small conscious movement you could try today just to start that dialogue? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive.